grow together. And that's from Harvard. And so it's there, and so we are basically doing what the research says. But I can understand, Mr. Stoll, your apprehension because it is as well deserved.
One thing I think the most important thing is the training, and I think you're talking about structured time, but that's the beauty of it, is we are going to have the time to have the staff together for training. And there are different approaches to it, so there will be different training and time, but that will be, we will have the time for it because it will be built into the schedule. We have experts on in our administration, such as Susan Gertnich, who know how to train staff to work on this. We have others that have been very successful in implementing it. We've heard from many schools that already have it 1 day a week, that they're already using it within their school. Restro has provided money for schools to put it in their schools, such as Hines. So we have it throughout the district, and it's a matter of expanding it and using it more efficiently. And I think one of the things about the plan is, there's a lot of talk about the plan, but we have to, as a board, make our decision, because the plan is going to be individual to the school. Each school is going to have different needs, and I would think that in much of the case, the model is going to be different, because this is the part of being professional. It's part of letting the teachers drive what needs to be talked about and needs to be done. And so this is the part of letting them have more of a voice, more of a say, more of a connection with the principal to say what needs they have as far as curriculum, materials, approaches, and programs that they need, and their professional development. And that is the whole point of having this. So while we won't want something perfect in a plan that's all stapled, it's going to be changing. It's going to be ongoing, because that's how it's going to have to develop. Because the needs are going to have to come from the professionals that we're giving this time to. Gillespie Hinton is doing this successfully. And so we already have many models and people that can come out and train. And you mentioned year-round school, and I think that either you touched on Gillespie Hinton, or you were talking about, and tell me if I'm wrong, but at the time, this district had the money and had the opportunity to go to year-round school, and it was because the community thought that was a crazy idea. And I remember people saying, well, my kids need to go in summer and such and such. And now we're talking about how successful that is across the country, and people are talking about how we need to do it, and we stopped it because the community stopped at the time. And while that,
180 days.
Yeah, I understand that, but there's a time when we have to look at the research, look at what's
They know more than the community.
I would say, Mrs. Spangler, I met with the middle school staff this morning. Dr. Hanna and I did, and we were talking about this, finding time for the staff to collaborate. And what they told Dr. Hanna and myself is that they have worked with their staff to figure out how to do horizontal articulation, but they could not do vertical articulation as far as with the rest of the school. So that, I mean, we've had different schools that have been able to do part of it, but not get the full experience out of it. And when you mention year-round school, and then we'll close, is that all of the new schools that are being, new programs that we're asking to be put in place, the recommendation will be that they will go through year-round calendars, because of the fact that part of the research says with year-round schools is that normally when students are out of school, and I gave you this research too, that the average kid, I should say with the demographics that we have in our district, he or she loses 2.6 months of learning with the summer break. We know that. And so year-round schooling does not. Children do not understand much of a loss. 2.6 months.
I guess I'm glad to hear that you've established monitoring systems to monitor the effectiveness of this. And I think that's very valuable to have for anything we do in the start. I would like to go back, though, just to converge to one thing I think that Mrs. Spangler brought up in relation to a comment from the audience, that because with anything, the key is always implementation, it seems. And the issue about whether attendance was suffer on that day, and that rather than just monitor that, maybe we need to really look at being proactive to ensure that that doesn't happen. Because speaking for myself, probably if my kids had a half day, times I would next update then is in regards to math, science, and technology.
Thank you very much, President Barnes. The Math, Science, and Technology Academy, the Board of Education has approved the formation and construction of a new facility that will be our Math, Science, and Technology Academy. Funding for this new facility was approved by the Public Building Commission in the spring of this year, contingent upon the Board of Education identifying the site for this new facility. It is at this time I would like to recommend to the Board of Education that our current school location of the 839 West Floss Avenue, which is the Peoria Adult Education Center, be the site for the new Math, Science, and Technology Academy. This location currently has approximately 2.1 acres of property and is located in the Peoria High School attendance area. We are now working on the configuration and the programming of this facility. The committee has been identified for a number of months now, and has been working on the programming, and we have many community members that are interested and involved with this particular program. It is our expectation that the enrollment in this new school will be between 350 and 450 students. The grade configuration is yet to be determined and consolidated. As of now, the discussion has centered on a grade configuration of grade 4 through 10. As was stated earlier, programming is still going on, and we are still working on that. Relocation of the Peoria alternative students and the adult education students will be determined at a later date. We currently have several facilities that will be able to receive these programs. We had talked about our facility that is located next to us in the old DLC that is now been vacant as far as remodeling that. I would also like to bring to the board's attention that we will have Laux will still be available, and plus Harrison School will be available, plus Kingman School will be available, because we're talking about an expected operational date for the Math, Science, and Tech Academy in the fall of 2010. So we're still 2 years away, and that would be the same time that we would open our new facilities and vacate the others. So placement for our other students, we can still determine that as to whether or not we want to house them together in the same facility as we're doing now, or we want to separate them. But we will have space for the students that we currently serve at that facility. All right.
Mrs. Spangler.
And whether you're going to gradually implement it so that it'd be 4 through 6, 8, you move up. Eventually, though, there will be a track that will go for 11 and 12, correct? And that's our goal, that if we get 10 and they're interested, we'll be moving them, correct?
Yes, Mrs. Spangler, there has been discussion that, let's say, for example, this 4 through 10, the question has been, that is extremely important to us where these students go. The discussions have been that we would work with a local university, or else have a component of it that is specifically designated to receive these students at one of our high schools. So that program in grade 11 and 12 is definitely a part of the program for the Math, Science, and Tech Academy, because we've learned from the past that when the children go through particular programs, we need to have a continuation for them. So that is definitely a part of our discussion.
Mr. Hinton, I guess I'm just a little bit more inquisitive when I hear that there's no configuration, but yet there is a population estimate. How does all that come together? We don't know what grade level to know how the students may be.
Well, we looked at 350 to 450 students, and when we, in other words, grade configuration, your grade configuration, let's say